I'm Carol Cohn, and welcome to Purpose 360, the podcast that unlocks the power of purpose to ignite business and social impact. Today's podcast is something very different. First of all, it's live conversations that I had at the recent Engage for Good conference in Palm Springs. It's also different because I'm wearing a sash, and you can't see it, but you should go to our website to see some great pictures. And it says Purpose Queen on it. Now, why Purpose Queen? Because Engage for Good was so generous to bestow upon me their Lifetime Achievement Award for all the work I've done over 40 years to shape the practice of purpose. Engage for Good, if you don't know about it. The conference dates back to 2002. It was started by a fellow named David Hesekiel, a wonderful gentleman who saw the beginning of what I had been seeing for about 20 years already. So today I'm going to share with you, besides wearing my wonderful sash, which again, you can see I'm blushing, but you can't, to talk with some of the leaders who were at the conference, who were talking about their business initiatives, their partnerships with not-for-profits, their point of view on philanthropy, and how to keep moving forward in these really trying times. You know, at this event, there's something really incredibly energizing about these conversations. They're happening in real time, surrounded by people who are deeply and passionately committed to making social impact work. In this episode, you'll hear from leaders at Big Brothers Big Sisters, the American Red Cross, the Trevor Project, Hasbro, and Impact Savvy. Together, these conversations explore resilience, authentic partnerships, employee engagement, mentorship, mental health, and the evolving role brands can play in helping communities thrive. You're going to love these conversations, so let's get started. So I have another wonderful friend at Engage for Good, and that's Bryan Klopack. And Bryan is from Big Brothers Big Sisters of America, one of my, dare I say, I'm not supposed to say this, but one of my favorite not-for-profits, led by an amazing CEO and friend, Artis Stevens. So Bryan, tell me about the conference. What's the reception to Big Brothers Big Sisters? You've won big awards here in the past, and you're the MC for the gala tonight.
I am.
Yeah, how'd that happen?
It's actually a really funny story. Well, so first of all, thank you for having me. I've been a big fan, first-time talker, a long-time listener. I'm a big fan of all of your work. Yeah, so I became the MC last year because the year before I was presenting an award. And I had a few minutes on stage, and I said to Munir, listen, this is great, but these talking points are really boring. Would you mind if I told some jokes? And he said, oh, it's so dry. Please have fun. And I just had fun, and I riffed off of some things, and we had a good time. And I got off the stage, and he said, you need a host next year. And I'd done it with Michelle Waring, who was a co-host, and we thought it was just being polite, but then he invited us last year to do it. We walked off stage, and he said, you have to do it again. Great. So we've reprised the role this year.
Oh, that's excellent.
But yeah, so the conference has been, I think this is my 6th or 7th. I started back when I was leading corporate partnerships for Special Olympics. It's very interesting to see the evolution of content.
So explain that. Explain the evolution. I want to, in your eyes.
Sure. So it's, one, the evolution of the enterprise from Cause Marketing Forum to Engage for Good and David Hesekiel's turnover to Munir, and it's all celebrating the same really, really important work through different eyes. So some years it's more leaning into inspiration, right, of just all the great missions that we work on. And some years it's more, here are actual business tools you need to do this work better, right? And this year I'm feeling a nice mix of that. And what I would say is this year I'm feeling a bit of a resilience, right? Last year, there was this fear, and the administration had just changed. A lot was confusing for us. There was so much coming out in the news every day. Not that it's not continuing to come out in the news every day, but there was this kind of cheerleading, let's be bold, let's get out there. And then a year of very complicated news came out and challenging space for all of us. But now I'm feeling more of there's this quiet resilience, right? we're making impact. We're doing good work. Sometimes it's not as loud as it used to be, or it's louder for employees versus consumers, right?
Thank you. Right. We like employees.
And that's important, and the work is still being done, which
Yes.
is really refreshing and kind of fills up my cup when I hear the great main stage work that we've heard, the breakout conversations, the breakout discussions on what's been done has been very reassuring.
The work does continue, and there's a ton of data, even in just D&I and ESG. That work is being continued. I think 95% of CEOs said they're even going to do more. They're just not talking about it externally because they don't want to get whacked. Yeah. And it was like such resolve. And so, in my presentation, I didn't get to talk about the segmentation of the leadership. But, there's a large group of maybe the quiet ones, but they're doing the work. And when we get out of the current situation politically and economically, it's still not that bad, which is kind of crazy, you're going to hear more.
But who's paying attention to that? And you know this better than I do. They're employees,
yes,
right? They're
totally.
Key stakeholders,
right? And
they're proud to see their leadership living their values.
And they want them to live their values.
Yes,
and, the Gallup percentage, only 21% is engaged. Over $8 trillion of lost time and commitment and effort.
I often coach my team on the corporate side to focus on, so we don't look at ourselves as a charity for the needy. We are a nonprofit business filling a need. And how do we become, for our partners, not a beneficiary of their charitable giving? I want to be their business partner. What business challenges are they needing help to solve? For us right now, we have a number of massive global corporations who are looking at the future of their workforce. And they need to expose more young people, 18 to 25, which is our fastest growing demographic of kids we serve, youth that we serve, exposing them to different types of employment. So whether it's with one of the yet to be announced, but world's largest hotel brands, to quick service restaurants. The hospitality space is such a great introduction into the employment world. And if college is not for you, that's okay. But our goal is that every child graduates from high school with a plan for what comes next. So 20% of our youth are 20% more likely to go to college. And for those who aren't, we can expose them.
A lot in the skilled trades. There's a tremendous amount in terms of BlackRock doing it, and Lowe's is doing it. Lowe's is putting in $250 million to educate 250,000 youth into skilled trades. And we need the skilled trades. And plus the hourly rate, the wage they're going to get, $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70 an hour.
Yes, that's amazing.
Because we need tradespeople.
Yes, and that's just it, right? They have a need for tradespeople. Our community has a need for social capital and being connected to opportunities.
Yes.
So this is we are in June, we'll be announcing a very large partnership with our hotel brand, yet to be announced. This, maybe you'll hear it here first, but that's very much focused on that intersectionality of their need, our need, and together. And they've said, yes, this is good for the community. Yes, this is good for the backyards where our employees live and work, but it's good for business.
So what are your greatest challenges these days?
Actually, my biggest opportunity at Big Brothers Big Sisters is
no challenges, or all opportunities.
All opportunities, of course. We enjoy incredible corporate and foundation support. And we have for many, many years. And it's continuing to grow, which is fantastic. We have 20 million alumni.
Oh, that's right.
In this country right now. Bigs, littles, families, champions of this work. And we haven't asked them to be our army of supporters, whether that's donating or volunteering again or engaging their communities, right? So I'm 8 months in to the organization, and it's a big priority for me to continue to grow our corporate work and all of that really important human infrastructure we just talked about. And also open up a whole new world for us, whether it's through peer-to-peer or a direct response program, to light a fire underneath this 20 million.
That's incredible.
That can latch onto the hope and the impact that we create as a mission.
And so will the social issue umbrella be mentoring?
Could be. It could be. It could. What we're leading into right now is that social capital, right? Whether you're an alumni or not, everyone has someone who helped them along the way. Whether that's filling out a FAFSA or how to fill out a resume for that, your local church's chicken, right? Someone helped them do that. So to give back to the community, the next generation, kind of tapping into that piece, but we're still working on it.
But you have the greatest depth in mentoring. So you might expand the umbrella.
Precisely.
So do you want to tell us, artist does this great, but I'm going to challenge you. Do you want to tell a story of just one great mentoring story?
Oh,
do you have one?
Can I give my own good mentoring story?
Of course, sure,
yes,
absolutely.
Yeah. So I grew up in a wonderful community in the south side of Chicago. My dad was a teamster in trucking, and I have 3 siblings, all with disabilities. So my parents were very busy, and my parents barely graduated high school. They'll tell you that they did it through the skin of their teeth. So I didn't have a mentor to show me how to fill out that FAFSA, how to go through the steps, right? But they knew that they wanted me to go to college. They didn't know how to help me get there, right? And my mother also worked in janitorial service. So I worked with her every Sunday and Wednesday. We went and we scrubbed toilets. And at the time, I was so embarrassed of that. And I'm now embarrassed of how I felt about it, right? Because they were sacrificing so much. And in that process, actively helped me through local organizations find a mentor to help me through my college journey. So then I got into college and then had a local mentor there at my undergraduate university, Drake University, who saw me at the beginning. I didn't do very well, right? Because I was no longer the janitor's kid. I was kind of reinventing myself and wasn't focusing on my studies. And I had a mentor. His name was Bob. He's in Minneapolis. He's a Lutheran pastor now. He's a great guy. And he said, What are you doing? Right? What do you want out of this experience in college? So fast forward, he got me on the straight and narrow. I got a 4.0 from there on. I was student body president my senior year.
That's great.
I went on to work for the United States Senate to lobby for education support for communities like mine. And that's because of mentors.
Wow, that's a great story.
And then I committed the rest of my life to working in the nonprofit space to support communities where I came from in ways that can lift them up the way that they lift me up.
So when you got the job,
yes,
how did you feel?
It was a very personal moment because the story I just shared with you, Carol, I haven't told a lot of people.
You've told a lot now.
I did know. The audience knows. It was a visceral feeling of that is my truth and that drives me in this work. And if I can help grow our mission through that truth that drives me, I'm excited to talk about that and open up the door because there are people like me all over the country. So I was very excited. Day 2, I was a little overwhelmed. We move so fast as an organization. Artis Stevens, as you mentioned, our CEO, is prolific. He's a visionary. He opens so many doors, and I need to build the infrastructure of my team so that we don't slow down. We can move with all those new connections, and that's hard, and that takes some time.
That's exciting.
It's very exciting.
Any other advice to your colleagues here about the moment?
Folks who come to Engage for Good, we all have incredible missions, right? Everybody's doing really important work here. And again, we are all nonprofit businesses filling a need. So don't listen to a panel discussion and just chase down every corporate partner that's there. I'm speaking to the nonprofit folks now, but find where you can be a good business partner, right? Listen for what's working, what the needs are for that business and their strategy and how you could...
Where's the value that you can create?
Yeah, precisely. That's where the magic happens. So that's where I've had great success in the past. And frankly, that's what they're looking for as well.
As we wrote in our Breakthrough Not-for-Profit Branding book some years ago, that our favorite thing was determine your goals, my goals, and shared goals.
Yes, I love that.
And the intersection of the shared goals and really talking about them and then listening to the good, the bad, and the ugly, that's where the magic happens.
It's magic, exactly. And one more point I want to put on that, the importance of stewardship. Of these partnerships, they cannot be transactional. Those die fast.
Right. They're short-term. Right.
Make them year-round. And also, we're all people. So getting to know your partner as a person, getting to know their birthdays, what their kids are doing, right? We're all people. That makes it so much more rich. And it makes the difficult conversations easier to have.
That's great. So thank you. Congrats on your new role, being at one of my favorite places.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited.
I want to see you in the parade, the Macy's parade next year.
I did it this last year. It was absolutely fantastic.
You did? Did you sing on the float? You did.
We walked. I was a pace walker with Sam DeScipio and our crew of matches who actually led the lead parade. So I'm not saying that I was the parade master, but I kind of was the parade master.
Oh, fun for you.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, they're a wonderful partner of ours.
They are a fabulous partner of yours. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen next Thanksgiving.
Yes, we will see. We will see.
Okay, thanks. Well, thanks for joining us on the show, Purpose 360.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all the work you've done for this community.
With me is Nathan Measom, and he is Senior Director of Cause Marketing at the American Red Cross. What's the conference like so far, Nathan?
Hi, Carol. Thank you so much for having me. The conference has been wonderful. I've seen so many familiar faces, had such a great opportunity to connect with so many of our brand partners. I was just saying to a colleague of mine, if we were to travel and visit all of the brand partners that we've had a chance to meet with today, it would have cost us so much more. So the value of this conference has already paid off dividends.
Now that's great. So you have been a winner of Halo Awards in the past.
That's correct.
I think you're a finalist this year?
We're a finalist this year, yes.
What's the most exciting work that you've been doing in the last year or two that you'd like our listeners to hear about?
So we have been doing really great work in the cause space with our cause marketing partners. I've got some really exciting things coming up that I wish I could share with you, but I will soon.
When is that going to happen?
It's a lot of stuff coming up this summer. We're doing a lot of exciting things around America 250, which is a really unique opportunity, I think, for brands to celebrate, the birthday of America in a way that makes sense right now.
What about the conference? Have you any great new insights, or you've been doing it a long time, so it's referring to things that we should keep doing?
Yeah, well, it's the first day, so I'm really looking forward to diving into some of the sessions that are going to happen today. I was really moved by Munir's speech today, particularly when he said that America is not a melting pot, it's a potluck, and that we all bring different things to the table and we need to share our recipes. I thought that was really inspirational and a great way to look at things.
And the Red Cross, you constantly reinvent yourself.
Yeah, well, for an organization that's been around for as long as we have, we're still constantly adapting because the world is constantly adapting, and we're there during emergencies when people need us the most. So what that looks like changes all the time. We respond to 65,000 disasters a year. I want to make sure I got that number right.
Many, and 50, 60,000 disasters. And unfortunately, with climate change and there's so many more disasters.
Yes, we've seen a rapid increase in the response that we're providing, particularly with people who are affected. We provide direct financial assistance to people who are affected by disasters, and the amount of money that we've given out over the last 5 years has almost doubled. So people are being affected in larger ways and needing more help than ever. So that's what we're here for.
What's the most important message you want to give to your either current partners or potential partners here?
I would say mission over everything. I mean, there's so much that we're doing, but nowhere in our mission statement does it say anything about benefits or rights and benefits. So,
so don't look at the spreadsheet. Look at the work that you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so many ways that we can collaborate. I always say, I want a partnership to work for. If it doesn't work for the brand partner, then it doesn't work for me either. The worst thing that could happen is if a partner says to me at the end of a campaign, "This didn't work." That was a failure on my part. So going into it, making sure that you know what the objectives are, and really wanting to meet those objectives in a way that makes sense, that doesn't always have to look like a spreadsheet of a benefits matrix. How can we meet in a way that creates the visibility in a way that actually gets people excited?
So besides understanding the objectives and goals, what's another one or two questions that are absolutely key when you're setting up a partnership?
I think the objectives and goals are probably the most important thing. For us, we operate a little bit differently because people know us for our work in disaster response. So when something happens, we have partners coming to us. We're turning around campaigns very, very quickly, which is not typical for a lot of organizations spend a year or more developing a campaign. So it's a little bit different for us. But I think just outlining those goals, and obviously you want something to be renewable. That's, I think, the most important thing is how do we make this a success for this year, and then how do we do it again even better next year?
Super. Well, thanks for joining the show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So with me is Deb Barge, and she is from the Trevor Project, which is really, really important in these times. And we're engaged for good. And so, Deb, explain what you do at the Trevor Project and explain for our listeners what the Trevor Project does. We'll start there.
Let's start there, Carol. Thank you so much. It's always an honor to sit alongside of you. You are genuinely the shero in the movement.
Thank you. I love being a shero. That's great.
I so appreciate you. So know you are that mentor, idol, icon that folks like me look up to.
Thank you.
I'm going to give you your flowers for a minute. You help listen in a way other people don't listen so that you can help brands and causes like us unlock their magical connection.
Great. Thank you. But tell us about you. Tell us about you and Trevor.
I am honored to be at the Trevor Project, and the Trevor Project is 28 years old.
Congratulations.
And many don't know, started because 28 years ago, there was a tie in the Oscars in a short film category, just like there was a tie in 2026 in the short film category for a film called Trevor, about a young boy, a fictitious story, who was in high school and attempted suicide because he was gay and being bullied and didn't feel he had support. At the end of the movie, the team put out a call line, realizing maybe we should offer support in case you feel you have someone to call. Remember, this is 28 years ago, so you watched TV for real. It aired one time. It was on HBO. And then that night, for the very first time it aired, over 1,500 kids called and said I needed help. And from then on, the Trevor Project has had a 24/7 crisis line, phone and text now, and of course online, for all LGBT plus kids across the U.S. and Mexico who feel that they may be considering harm of themselves. We operate this line because over 1.8 million kids in the community consider suicide every year.
Wow.
In the LGBTQS community. So I'm honored to be at the Trevor Project.
That's great.
Because I have 2 children that are in the LGBT+ community. And I know firsthand how important it is that we're showing up both for that moment of crisis, but beforehand.
So what's really keeping you awake at night?
That's a great question. I have a joyful role, Carol. I get to be the Chief Advancement Officer, which in our world is relatively new. We're development and marketing. So I get to think up at night about the brand. How is the brand staying vibrant for our community? How do kids know how to find us? And how do supporters know what we do enough to want to invest? It's a different conversation than just owning development or fundraising. And on the other side, I'm keep up at night because last June, we lost $25 million a year from the federal cuts of 988, which we were receiving. It's every year it's gone.
Right.
So now we need to replenish it. How do we find people to lean in and help us serve more kids?
And how's it going?
It's going okay. We had an emergency lifeline campaign like when there's a hurricane, and folks stepped up to help us make it through year 1. And now we're building the foundation for what's sustainability look like.
Right. And the issue that you support is not in favor. So how are you operating in that environment? When it's important what you do, it's critical, but you don't want to get brands don't want to get their heads knocked off.
It's really tricky in this time. So I'm really proud of the brands that are still boldly standing alongside us publicly, not just quietly.
Will you name names?
There's a few brands that are quietly saying, don't put our name right now, we're scared. But there are brands like Abercrombie and Fitch, 16 years they've been our partner.
16 years.
They are still selling product in store that supports the Trevor Project.
That's fantastic.
They are marching in pride parades with us. They are leaning in every way.
Right.
MAC.
Yeah, I love MAC. I'm a MAC girl.
Well, you need to buy your Viva Glam because your Viva Glam
absolutely
supports the Trevor Project.
Of course. Yes, absolutely. 100%.
And they gave a new $1 million gift because of what happened in June.
Wow. Good.
And they did it publicly. We got to do media around it. They are all in from employee to customer.
Great. Okay. Anybody else want to mention?
Lululemon.
I'm a Lululemon girl too.
I mean, aren't we all?
Yeah.
And really proudly, I like this one because I think people don't realize the NFL.
Really? And then I know that there was a player that came out.
Yes.
And
Carl Nassib.
Right.
The NFL's been a partner since Carl came out publicly as the first openly gay NFL player 5 years ago. The NFL gives every year. And just this year at the Super Bowl, the NFL's diversity leader and our CEO took to Adweek stage and told our story.
That's fantastic.
They continue to engage their employees, use our training so that they are supportive in their community. And that's probably when you don't normally think of being with the Trevor Project.
No, not at all. I mean, you think NFL, you think beef, giant guys. So what's been the response here in terms of your, meeting with either current prospects or maybe partners? What's been the response?
The interesting part that folks are really leaning into is their employees. Everyone knows they have employees that are in the LGBT plus community. They have employees whose kids are, and they want their employees to know they stand alongside us. So while they might be maybe not using their media, maybe not using their brand externally, they need their workforce to know they stand alongside them. So they're leaning into those employee engagement moments we bring.
That's great. And any special programs that you want to talk about internally that are working?
Yes. A couple of things we do really well and people really love. We do care and ally training. So we'll come into your workforce and we'll talk about why it's important to be a good ally and what that means. Why do pronouns matter and why do we use them and why does it matter? How is the data showing that when you use my gender preferred pronouns, I'm less likely to have mental health challenges, which then for an employer means I'm more likely to show up to work on time or maybe have less sick days and
less insurance claims.
I also might treat your customers with that same respect and they'll have more loyalty. So those trainings are so simple, but they really do make an impact on the bottom line for the customer and for the brand.
Absolutely. Value creation.
That's right.
Yeah. That's really, really great. Anything else that you want to talk about in terms of how you're developing new programming for internal?
Absolutely. The other thing that a lot of our employees are wanting in all these brands, especially those that may have a retail workforce or a remote workforce, they want a reason to gather in person. What do we do together? We allow them to do what everybody wants to do. They want to stuff a kit. They want to create something, right? Kitting's the favorite thing to do. We let them stuff a kit for the person answering that crisis line. We have thousands of volunteers that actually staff the crisis line.
Answering the crisis line. What's in the kit?
The kits are wellness things for the crisis counselor, whether that is a well-being journal so that they can take care of themselves, positive affirmation resources, stickers, stress balls, other things that might help them even in the sensory space restore themselves so they can answer the next call or answer the next text with their full self and support the person on the other line.
That's great.
It's powerful.
That's great.
The other thing we've been doing a lot of, and this has been coming alive at a lot of these gatherings like this, conferences, in persons, you want to write a positive note to that kid calling. And so we've been doing a lot of that where it can be an anonymous person. And the reason is we know that 40% of the young people who have one positive adult in their life or that feeling of one positive adult will not attempt suicide. So that little note can literally save a life.
That means
These little things help employees have a physical way to touch a mission that may not feel like something you can touch.
And how did you, these are like little things, but you discovered them. They're little, these beautiful gems. How did you find them?
Oh, we listened.
We're going to listen to authentic. We're going to have my next favorite word.
I love the authentic part. I think that's the part, Carol, that through the whole thing, those partners that are with us are authentic partners. It's deep. It's deep in the soul of their workforce. It's deep in the soul of their customers. But when we bring these activations, we listen to our crisis counselors telling us, this is what we need and this is what we're hearing. So then we take that and we go to the workforce and say, what do you need? What are you hearing? What are you hearing from both that HR side, but your CSR side? And then what does the leadership want to see for the brand?
That's great. I'm going to ask you a really hard question.
Please.
Oh, look, you just got this invitation to go to the White House to talk to the president. What would you say to President Trump?
Wow, that's a really bold question.
I knew it's a tough question.
I love it, though, because here's the reality. We are a purple cause. All we want to do is be there for every young person because our mission, LGBT plus humans are humans. This is a human issue, and we are dealing with a health crisis. We already know. Surgeon General told us we're in a loneliness and mental health crisis in this nation. And suicide is an epidemic.
Yes.
We're here to help solve that. We're actually part of the public health system, if you think about it. When you operate a 24/7 public health line, we're just like your emergency response team here. And we're helping not only that person on the other line, we're helping society provide a vital service. So I hope as the president and our representatives and anyone else, We simply see this as a human mission that's supporting our nation and our people.
That's beautiful. Well, Deb, they are very fortunate to have you. You've been at many incredible storied organizations, but this might be the one that really touches the most deeply in your soul.
I think that you are spot on. I think, Carol, we all do this work because we love it. None of us would be in this industry if we didn't. And as we grow and evolve, I started at March of Dimes when I was pregnant, and now I get to be in a mission that's aligned to my children today. We all get to give our heart in the meaningful way. And thanks to your leadership, we also know we can bring our brilliance too.
That's what great way. So thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And keep up the fantastic work.
And congratulations to you on being recognized here. We are so grateful to have you.
Thank you so much.
I'm Sarah Knott. I'm with Hasbro. I've been there 10 years. I'm the Director of Philanthropy and Social Impact. And this is, I think, my 5th conference.
And what do you think of the conference so far?
It's really nice to be with like-minded people who are experiencing the same things that you are experiencing, meeting nonprofits that are trying to do good work. And this field in corporate can feel sometimes like you're on an island because your team is small. It's no one in the company is doing what you're doing, and being with people that are experiencing what you're experiencing there's something so valuable about that.
That's terrific. And has anything stood out for you so far? We've had morning sessions, the first full day.
Yes. I think there's a lot of amazing solutions in tech for helping scale programs in ways that we can't do alone.
And anything really big or special that Hasbro's doing that you'd like to highlight?
Well, next weekend, I don't know if you've heard, but Daddy Pig of Peppa Pig family is running the London Marathon and raising money for the National Deaf Children's Society in the UK because his son they just found out he's moderately deaf. And so we've been working with the National Deaf Children's Society to spread awareness about that. And we're really excited.
And he's got kind of short legs.
He does.
Gosh, that's a lot of strides.
A lot of
for that
stride.
marathon.
He has celebrity trainer Joe Wicks helping him. So, yes.
There you go. Super. Well, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Kari, Hayden, Pendoley. I run Impact Savvy. It's a strategy and social impact firm. And I'm here because I have been attending this conference since it was the Cause Marketing Forum.
Right, with
when
David.
I was a graduate school intern, I helped check people in New York City, one of the very first gatherings of the Cause Marketing Forum, and I think in 2005.
And I must have keynoted.
Yeah, 100%. There was like 45 of us in a ballroom, like in the Marriott with no windows.
Exactly.
So I've just been such a huge fan of the evolution of this work, what it means for companies to demonstrate purpose and do that through strong partnerships with nonprofits.
I love that. What are one or two of your secrets for the most profound partnerships?
Oh, goodness. I'm a little biased because I spent time at DonorsChoose.org.
Love Donors
And
Choose.
DonorsChoose.org is a multi-time Halo Award winner for several of their partnerships, and the campaign that they did with Crate and Barrel to really innovate giving cards and gift cards really kind of changed that landscape alongside Kiva with what it meant to give philanthropic dollars in the hands of the consumer in $5 and $10 and then convert them into longtime supporters. So that is one of my favorite examples of a collaborative campaign that's still going on today.
Yeah, it is. And that's great. Any other insights into making the relationship work really hard?
I said this earlier to this group. This is the CISM group, the Corporate Social Impact Members Group, who are members of Engaged for Good, and they meet quarterly as corporates to discuss challenges. My advice this week has been get the board members of both the corporate board and the nonprofit board to be connected.
There you go. Good
There's
idea.
So much turnover on nonprofit staff and on the corporate side, but those boards do not turn over. And so if you can get alignment on a multi-year partnership, a multi-year agreement, you can stay that North Star despite any other sea change that might be happening. That has worked really well for myself and my clients.
Great recipe for success.
Love it. Thanks, Carol.
This podcast was brought to you by some amazing people, and I'd love to thank them. Ann Hundertmark and Kristen Kenny at Carol Cone on Purpose, Pete Wright and Andy Nelson, our crack production team at True Story FM, and you, our listener. Please rate and rank us, because we really want to be as high as possible as one of the top business podcasts available, so that we can continue exploring together the importance and the activation of authentic purpose. Thanks so much for listening.